guys, welcome to my channel. Kiva here, and we're continuing doing a 2023 year wrap up of the books that I have read. As I said, I've read over 50 books this year. I'm very proud. I've tried out new authors, and some books didn't make the list. Some are hitting every note. I enjoyed every bit of them. Some are from new authors that I've tried out, and man, the books were hitting this year, and I loved every book that I've tried, even some that I didn't like, but I'm glad that I actually tried and went out my comfort zone. So today, without further ado, I'm going to be giving you a list of all my favorite books for 2023 in no particular order of what time I've read them throughout the year. It could be further up in January or just the other day in November. So let's get into it. So I continued the Legendborn series. I loved it from last year, and this one is The Blood Mark. I mean, like, I keep on seeing how this book can get better and better. I heard it's going to be a trilogy, so I'm waiting on the third book, the third installation for it, and I'm waiting to see what actually happens. And I love the fact that this book was a retelling of King Arthur's story, and Bree was actually King Arthur's lineage. And I'm waiting to see what Miss Dion do for the third book and how it ends, because I'm just waiting on the edge for it. It is a very good fantasy book. The only problem for me, because I'm a big romance reader, is that I would have loved Brie to be a little bit older. But otherwise from that, it is an excellent story. I would encourage anybody to read it. And let's move on to the next book. Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. Let me tell you this. Second chance romance done well. I'm a big fan of Kennedy Ryan, and as I tell everybody, I just feel like Kennedy Ryan can't do no wrong for me at this present time. This is one of the authors that I tried last year and later down last year, and I continue to read her books throughout this year. I mean, like, Before I Let Go was a buzz on TikTok, but it is worth the time and the read. So without further ado, Fourth Wing, another big book on TikTok, and there was some mixed reviews about it. Some people didn't like it, some people, well, it's a book, and once you put it out there, it is made for criticism. People are going to like it, some people are not going to like it. I was one of those person that actually liked it, and I'm itching to read part 2 or book 2, Iron Flames. It was out sometime in November, and I am itching to read it and see what they are up to at the Kawar College now that she has woken and her brother is alive. So Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. I mean, like, come on, this book was one of those books that you had to read and you just feel all of these fuzzy feelings, like, yeah, I wish I was this character and in this moment. I mean, like, Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop was one, hands down, one of my favorite books without even batting an eye. We're talking about Rome and how he went about doing everything. I mean, the book was on point. The story got to it. And I mean, like, the smut was amazingly done. But otherwise from that, if no smut was in there and you were reading, you would be totally interested in it. I mean, like, as for me, I'm not a violent person, but I would have hit my sister in that book. If I was the main character in the book, I'd have hit her. Crazy stuff. And now we're moving on to Verity by Coho, which is Colleen Hoover. For some strange reason, I was calling this lady Colleen Hoover. I'm sorry. So Verity was one of those books that I tried out. This is my second time reading a Colleen Hoover book, and can actually say I enjoyed this story, loved it from start to finish. It had me engaged, like wondering what was real, what wasn't real. But for all the people that was questioning where my loyalty lie, I think the manuscript was actually very much true. Whatever was written in that was what happened, and I'm going to stick to it with my chest. That's the hill that I'm going to stick on. But we went on to Revive Me. I mean, like, I think I read all 3 books this year. I'm not even sure. But whatever it is, Revive Me Part 1, 2, and 3 by J.L. Segar. I mean, like, Chris' story was, I mean, like, it was worth the 3 books that it got. The story, you got 3 different versions of Mallory and Chris love story. You got when they were, fake dating. You got when Mallory was actually did not care and wanted to be selfish, and the little cheating trope there. I'm not sure if that's cheating, if this man just only married for the fact that he was trying to protect Mallory and never consummated his relationship. And then you got where their love story, when they actually heal, went to therapy, and learning how to deal with each other's traumas and not to trigger them, and how to deal with it. You got 3 different versions of this person, and it felt like 3 different stories that I've read, and it was beautifully done. And I love that the fact that they get a happily ever after. I mean, like, the story was amazing. No, hands down. For the next one is Writer's Block, and I think I read this sometime, I think it's October or November sometime, but that was a short story. Loved how the author actually brought it across, and man, it was another new author that I tried out, and I had to say I love reading stories about writers writing and falling in love, and the story was amazing. The other one is Finally Famous. This is the story that I think I've read this and I talked about it in my wrap up. That one was amazing. Urban Romance is pretty much on the top of my list this year, and I'm actually just gobbling up every bit of it. Next year I'll be consuming far more of it. I'm just reading about Black romance done in this way, and I love how the writing was done, the language. It was not, oh, I'm just going to give you pretty writing or pretty flowery words. It's like you got street, and that's what was necessary for this situation. Pile or Pile, I don't want to even actually say this word again. It was A by A.H. Cunningham. And as I said, it was a dom and submissive book. The father is a not even a father, he's a father, of course. She's a dance teacher. His daughter is in her dance studio, one of her best dancers. He was irritated by her, but deep down he actually really liked her. They entered into a dom and submissive relationship. Things happened, and it was a beautiful love story told. And it's been a long while since I've read any dominance or BDSM kind of books in a good while, and this was a good way. It's not heavily BDSM, so if you want something like that, it's very light, Black romance, that would be a very good book to actually go with. So we can go into the series now. Of all the series that I actually love this year, ACOTAR is on the top of it. First time reading any health whatever it is kind of book. Love though it was done. My I had downsides about this, but I actually love the series overall. Never liked Nesta. Never saw why her book was so long. Either way, the story was okay. But the overall entire series was beautifully done. As I would say, fantasy done a particular way, because it's hard to do fantasy, especially when you're doing world building and everything. It's not, if the world building is not clear, it is not going to be brought across the way that it's supposed to and emerge your readers into it. And I think ACOTAR actually gave a good world building. Magical system was explained, every the storyline made sense. And then we went into the Twisted series. My favorite book of the Twisted series was the last one, Twisted Lies, with Christian and Christian's story. And as I said, this was like, oh, I really like how it was done. I already have a video of telling why I like the book and why I like this series. This was a very interesting one for me. They said it was a dark romance, but I think it's very light comparing to what I've read this year. But it's very light. And the other one, I mean, like, you had to go with the Mafia Misfit series by Isha Bonique. I know it's not finished, but it's a series that I hope it's not finished. Either way, the Mafia Misfit series, as I said, I started it last year with Sinful Vows, and I think it just got better and better with each book. Love Luca book, which is book 2. Other books are there, and it just makes sense, you know, each story telling a love story, and you're making little tidbits of pieces to create the overall story, which is the bigger story, which has not unfolded as yet, which is my thing. I actually liked it. For me, the other book is The Eisenberg Effect. I mean, like, I've seen this book all over TikTok, and I'm very skeptical when it comes to certain books that I see and everybody's raving about it. It was the same impression that I had for Only for the Week, or Only for a Week, by Natasha Bishop. But the Eisenberg, I mean, I'm so glad that it did not disappoint. Luca, Lyric, and Layak are like, I should say, their story, I mean, like, it was amazing to read something like that. It was a little bit different. No, it reminds me so much of the McLean brothers. They actually gave the sister story, and not just only, just all girls. They gave the siblings a story. And as it move on to the next book, the McLean brothers series, I mean, like, Alexandria House and Gray Huffington from the Eisenberg Effect, these are both new authors to me, and I love how Alexandria House writes. She has a specific writing style. You did a reading, and all of a sudden you see something gone way ahead, and you're like wondering, what did I miss? Did I read something? Did I skip something? Only to know that, oh no, they're actually going into the future, and then they're going to tell you what happened. And you can't be upset with that kind of writing style. The author made it her own. The McLean brothers, I think it's 5 books in it, I think. 5 books, and it tells also the sister story, and each book is beautifully done. Each brother got a different story, or each sibling got a different story, and the story was not like it's a recycle of each. And when books are done this way, as I said, keep on saying it, it's not a recycle of the first book. It's a different trope, it's a different storyline, different characters dealing with different things and struggling with different things. When stories are done this way, or series are done this way, you have to appreciate it and the work that the author put in. So that was the end of my favorite books for this year. I hope to continue this long list for next year in 2024. You can tell me your favorite books that you had this year, or if any of the books that I mentioned was any of your favorite. Leave them in the comment below. Remember to like, subscribe, share, comment. And until next time, bye guys. Bye.